got caught in no man's land, and a turnover. First of the game for the Bearcats.
Nice job by Cincinnati to get back. As I said, Xavier likes to run, but even in the modified break, you got too many weapons out there that can score from many different places, and Drew Lavender with the open look.
Lavender a 42% three-point shooter. He ties the game at 7. The only loss for Xavier this year was against Miami of Ohio by 2 points. Hritzenjuk off the mark. And Duncan gets fouled as he tried to snare the rebound. Second Cincinnati team foul. Great start for the Bearcats, but the Musketeers back quickly to tie the game at 7.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dish Network. Get the most HD channels and the best HD DVR available from Dish Network.
Looking at Fountain Square here in Cincinnati. Not ice skating season right now. It's about 60 degrees yesterday, though, in the low 40s today here in Cincinnati, Ohio. These schools separated by 3.5 miles. And either you root for blue or red in this town. And you look at some of the other schools around the country, some non-conference rivalries like Penn Drexel, only a couple of blocks separate those two, and of course big ones in conference like Carolina, Duke, and USC, UCLA.
Well, having done this game in the past, and again looking around this arena and seeing hardly any red, this is all blue except maybe one row behind the Cincinnati bench. And even though the Duke-Carolina matchup gets so much play, and deservedly so, you come in with this small community right here, this is all people talk about. And I guess the intensity, you can see it on the fans' faces, you can see it in the blue that the students paint themselves with.
And there was one guy who was screaming at the Cincinnati players for a good 15 minutes straight. I think he was one of those guys that didn't sleep over the weekend, that came Friday and camped out till Monday. Here's Brown in the lane. Contact but no foul. Love with the rebound and sticks it back in. And the first lead for Xavier tonight.
And Jason Love, one of those role players that comes off the bench, strong offensive rebounder, uses that big body to get excellent position.
Cincinnati 0 of its last 4 on offense after a hot start that included a Marvin Gentry 3. He picked up the foul right before we went to break. Jamal Warren with the floater, no. And here comes Stanley Burrell for Xavier.
And Warren's got to make some of those shots. Even though he missed that, he's still keeping Lavender occupied.
Burrell was shut out against Cincinnati last year, shooting over 46% this year from 3.
Crump goes up to grab the rebound. Purdue at the other end.
Well, one way to beat a zone if you're not outside shooting too is to beat the zone back down the floor. So a great job by Purdue there, taking advantage of pushing the ball up the floor, getting something better than a perimeter jump shot.
Scott Martin ties this game up at 9 apiece. For sports fans in your life, shop today and save 20% on all officially licensed NCAA apparel, collectibles, and more at CBS Sports Store.
Sosa's wondering when he's going to get a call. He's been driving to the basket, not able to get anything off.
Jumper for 3. That one they got. Keaton Grant, who is hitting 50
out of 23 from three-point range.
7-0 run for the Boilermakers, and they have grabbed the lead of 3. Time call. We'll go back to last year's NCAA tournament, and these are 4 who lost in the round of the Elite 8. UNC, Memphis, Kansas, and Oregon. They seem to be doing quite well this year.
Well, Vern, we see that each and every year. A team that goes deep in the... McGee. Williams had the backdoor cut available, didn't take advantage of it.
Here's Williams. Three-pointer, tied it up.
For goodness sake. Oh, come on. Oh, what? Well, I thought those were the lyrics. I mean, that's how I learned it.
And they're now head coaches, Indiana Southeast. So that'd be interesting to see how they put their program together.
You know, the depth of your research amazes me at times.
You know, I'll never forget Wiley Brown right before that game. Remember, he left his thumb in a restaurant table, and they had to go back through the garbage to get his thumb for the final championship game. I'll never forget that. And played brilliantly.
Oh, goodness. 10:50 to go. Terrence Williams on the floor with Clark.
Nice piece of
Jerry
dribbling.
Smith. Sosa from the corner. Beauty.
Terrific dribbling that time by Williams. Nice crossover.
6 junior has been an early spark here for the Cardinals.
Early spark. Young man had a triple-double, become the 3rd player in Louisville history with a triple-double earlier this year. He almost had a quadruple. What do you call the quadruple-double?
Yes.
8 turnovers.
Yeah.
That one that you wouldn't be too proud of if you had a triple-double that included more than 10 turnovers.
Well, he had 14 points, 12 rebounds. The Chevrolet player of the game from each team. To honor their determination and outstanding play, Chevy makes a $1,000 contribution to each unit
for his jump shots. They could be a pretty effective zone team, even though they don't shoot well, if they can get the ball in Hummel's hand.
Like Kramer.
Kramer, a tough kid, had a concussion against Clemson. I watched that ball game. It was some hit. Nice left-handed shot on the inside, using the body to.
Well, Butler ranked 19th. St. Mary's with a great start. They're 7-1, and BYU at 8-2 among the mid-majors who are ranked in the top 25.
Well, as strong as Butler has been, and you remember Butler beating Purdue here in this challenge a few years ago, you can't call them mid-major anymore. I mean, they've been solid all the way down the line, and we talked about BYU earlier. Their ball club this year can play with anybody.
Kramer.
Farley with those, as a freshman, had those 6 blocks
This year, and Derek Character. Nice feed. Whoa!
I really like that young man's game. Hummel really understands how to play. He has not come out 1 second of this first half, and in all areas of the game, he is so solid.
From the corner.
There's the rebound.
There's Hummel.
Look at that rebound, pushes the ball up with a dribble, hits the proper man, knows how to pass the ball.
For the final shot, perhaps. It's good!
And who was it taking that final jumper? The one man that can bury him from 3, Grant.
Keaton Grant with his 3rd 3. It's 34-25. Here's Tim Brando in New York. Thanks, Vern. Coming up.
Welcome to ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers.
New York City is all lit up for the holidays, but the lights will shine brightest in this town tonight inside Madison Square Garden, a matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Yeah, the Panthers are 10-0, but so is the opposition tonight. The Duke Blue Devils playing their annual pre-Christmas game here in the New York City area. It's a sellout here inside Madison Square Garden tonight. There are a lot of alumni and fans of Duke here, but remember, this is Big East country, and Pittsburgh's had a lot of success in this building as well over the last 6 or 7 years. This figures to be an entertaining night of college basketball here inside the Garden. Hi, everybody. Dan Shulman and Jay Billis with you. And, Jay, whether you look at the record.
Well, for Pittsburgh, DeJuan Blair, a freshman, 6'7" tall and a load inside. He has great hands, great feet. And for Duke, their lone senior, DeMarcus Nelson, can put it on the floor and attack the rim. Perhaps their great defender, their best defender, out on the perimeter with his long arms and athleticism.
Kyle Singler. An outstanding group of officials here tonight. Jim Burr, Mike Kitts, and Jamie Luckey, and we are set for basketball here in the Garden. We expect most of the fans.
The 4 spot, that provides a lot of matchup difficulties.
Save that Sam Clancy story for a little bit later.
Exactly. This match inside with Paulus guarding DeJuan Blair.
And DeJuan Blair smiling early as
a screen. out on the perimeter. Duke deciding to switch some of those screens.
The athleticism of Henderson on display early.
Well, that is
the last 6 years. That's the most of any program in the country. Pittsburgh has been there 4 of the last 6 years. I guess the big difference, Jay, is Pittsburgh has not been able to get beyond the Sweet 16.
That's the step I think the Pittsburgh program is looking to take. During the regular season, they have been magnificent. They've been outstanding in Big East play, not only in regular season Big East play, but also in the tournament. It's the NCAA tournament, though, that we all seem to value as putting the stands. Couldn't complete the play.
Blair out of Schenley High in Pittsburgh. And again, the first notable player from Pittsburgh to go play for the Panthers in a number of years. It's a city that is football crazy, and it just hasn't turned out.
Pitt's going to have to try to take advantage, and they post Young inside.
Taking advantage of Shire.
Anytime there's a
Memphis, Saturday at noon on ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And in part by Phillips Norelco. Phillips, Sense, and Simplicity.
This ESPN telecast is available in high definition on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. Back inside the Garden, an early start here between Duke and Pittsburgh. Both teams missing some shots, turning it over. Duke leading by 2 early. Dan Schulman, Jay Billits with you, and we want to send our best wishes to our...
But it's your seat.
Looking forward to having Dick back in February. For more, let's go to Doris Burke, who's with us tonight. Doris.
Oh, guys, Dick has been a star in college basketball for 3 decades, but I'm far prouder of my association with Dick Vitale, the man, than my colleague. We wish him the best.
I don't know if he's got a bell or a horn. I understand on his first day he's got to write everything that he wants to say, and he writes like he talks. He's really going after it. He wore out the ink in 2 pens in the first 3 hours after the surgery.
Well, I bet on that last play he was writing down, look at the slip, Kyle Singler slips the screen, intelligent.
And Singler's got 6 already. Duke leading by 4, make it 2 as Sam Young has his second field goal of the night. Good to see Sam after so many knee problems, just tendonitis in both knees. A Duke turnover. Ramon pushing it to Fields, and we got ourselves a tie game.
Boy, Fields, the great body control and using the left hand and give
him out. I don't know if he's bleeding perhaps as they stop play.
Off the turnover, Ronald Ramon passing the ball ahead, and Levance Fields doing a good job of looking over that right shoulder and drawing.